12,000 feet. That's where the world stops looking real and starts looking like a target. For Lieutenant Elena Thorne, this was supposed to be a routine jump, but as she stepped out of the C-130 into the freezing roar of the wind, she knew something was wrong. Elena reached for her primary ripcord. She pulled. Nothing. The handle came away in her hand, trailing a severed cable. She looked up through the blur of her goggles. Her jumpmaster, Sergeant Miller, was hovering there. He wasn't diving to help her. He was just watching. Then Miller did something that chilled her more than the altitude. He raised a hand and gave her a slow, mocking wave goodbye. In that moment, Elena realized she wasn't in a training accident. She was in an execution chamber made of clouds.
Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Legacy of the Brave so you never miss these true tales of courage. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from today?
Elena was a straight arrow. She believed in the uniform. That was her first mistake. 3 months ago, during a late-night shift at the fuel depot, she saw a civilian tanker being filled with military JP-8 fuel under the cover of darkness. And there was Miller, clipboard in hand, running a black market ring worth millions. Miller saw her that night. He didn't threaten her. He just gave her that jagged, wolf-like smile and said, "Thorne, you're a hard worker. I think it's time we get you up for some advanced jump training. Just you and me." In the Army, when a legend offers to mentor you, you say yes, even if your gut tells you you're walking into a grave.
Elena started digging. She found out that over the last 5 years, 3 other problematic recruits under Miller's command had died in freak accidents, all ruled as student error. Miller was a ghost. He knew exactly how to cut a cord so it would hold for the start of a jump, but snapped the second the wind resistance hit terminal velocity. She knew she couldn't go to the MPs yet. Miller had friends in high places. So, the night before the jump, Elena snuck into the rigging shed with a thermal micro camera. She watched the footage in horror. Miller wasn't using a knife. He was using a high-tensile acidic spray on her deployment sleeve. It was designed to eat through the nylon the moment it was under tension.
Elena had 2 choices, run or fight. She chose to fight. She couldn't swap the pack. Miller checked serial numbers like a hawk, so she spent 4 hours in the dark performing a surgical repack of her reserve chute. She hit a secondary manual deployment line that Miller wouldn't look for. The next morning, the sun was blinding. Miller clapped her on the shoulder. "Ready to fly, Thorne?" Elena looked him dead in the eye, felt the weight of the hidden camera on her wrist, and said, "Ready as I'll ever be, Sergeant." Back to the fall. Elena is screaming toward the earth. Her primary chute is a useless rag. She's at 6,000 feet. Miller is still hovering above, waiting for the impact. But Elena didn't reach for the reserve handle yet. She tucked her arms, turned into a max-track dive, and accelerated like a human missile. She screamed past Miller, so close she could see the shock in his eyes. As she flew by, she pulled her wrist up, pointing the microcamera straight at him. At 2,000 feet, dangerously low, she pulled her modified reserve. It blossomed white and gold. She had done it. She had survived the unsurvivable. When Elena hit the ground, she didn't even unclip her harness before the MP SUVs swarmed the landing zone. Miller landed 5 minutes later, already rehearsing his tragic accident speech. He stopped talking the moment he saw the handcuffs. They found the acidic spray in his locker. They found the offshore accounts. But most importantly, they found the courage of one woman who refused to be another accident in a folder. Elena left the service shortly after. She told me, "I still love the sky, but I don't trust the people on the ground anymore." If you found Elena's story powerful, hit that like button.
It helps us keep these accounts of courage alive. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in her place? I'll be reading. Until next time.